Evening, my friends. Good evening, my friends. This is VJ from K. 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 This is VJ from K.
Good evening, my friends. This is VJ Franz K, and welcome to my Workbench. In this case, Workbench is a sampler app that allows you to sample and arrange. It's like a drum machine, except to call it a drum machine might be too limiting because you can sample any kind of sound that you'd like to use. You can hear the sound of my voice, you can hear the sound of tools, machines. You can use Audiobus to sample in any sound that you will want. It's just a fun way to arrange, and there's a lot of different features that I will show you. The interface looks different. It's a breath of fresh air. Let's get right into it, shall we? Alright, I'm ready to sample a sound. So I'm going to press the sample button, one of three modes here, and I can set the threshold, which is how loud the sound will be before it picks up. Then I click this. What is unique is that each one of these cells can hold its own sample. If you want to have the same sound on multiple cells, what you do is use the mute and copy button. Sounds kind of like a tap dancing beat, doesn't it? It would seem to make sense to have my workbench loaded with the sounds that I found in this room. Various mechanical devices, pieces of metal, tools. You notice I'm using different features here. We can adjust the start and end point. We have two separate loops that are running at the same time. And they can be different lengths to create interesting effects. We have an echo that we can turn on or off, adjust the amount of steps. Very creative. You can even put the end before the start, which then results in the loop going in reverse. Very creative, very fun. Here I can use the fancy controls and adjust things like filter. You can hear that there. And the flavor of the filter a different type. Change the pitch. And I can even change it per step as well as for the entire bench. This is clever. This would be great in live performance, and I guarantee you I will use it in a live performance sometime soon. Yes, this is an Audiobus compatible app, so you will be able to do all sorts of routing. you can record into it from other apps, as well as have things go out. Duplicating samples is as simple as using the mute and copy button and then dragging from one area to another. When you're using these edge points, you've got to be careful that you don't copy the sample instead. You can also trigger the sounds by entering trigger mode. And if you are into controllerism, you can stop the sequencer. And just play it that way. Making things even more interesting is that Workbench is an Audiobus compatible app. I can set it here on my output, or I can set it on my input. For now, we'll set it on output. Bolasol Inc. presents Workbench. There he is yelling it through the megaphone. All right. And then we have DM-1, the drum machine. Alright, I have now made a very simple pattern on DM-1, the drum machine. Very simple. Why so simple? Now we are going to switch over here. Now we're in Workbench, and I'm going to use sample mode. And we're going to sample those drum sounds into here. Now that I have these samples in, I can drag to copy this set from here to here. Notice that each cell can have its own sample. So it's different than your standard drum machine. So I'm going to use my mute and copy button. Now I've made myself a simple drum pattern. By copying those drum hits that we sampled in through Audiobus. I'll add myself some echo here, turn it on. I've made myself a sort of hip-hop drum pattern. Just like a hip-hop DJ, I still have a second set of pads here that I can independently switch back and forth. And I can load up new sets of samples, or old ones that I've already done. The sounds of the drill. Here is my swing. Change the pitch of the entire thing. There's also a filter. Now that I have this drum pattern, I'm going to save it.